Hello, Sudoku friends. Welcome to the New York Times Hard Sudoku. Today is April 17, 2023. It's immediately clear that the 7 blocks here, the 7 blocks over here, so here's a 7. Therefore, these 3 squares must be a 2, 9, and a 6. There's a 2 and a 9 in the column, so a 6 must go here. There's a 4 blocking over here and another 4 blocking over, so a 4 goes here. A 5 blocks up, another 5 blocks up, so here's a 5. There's a 4 and a 7 here, and there's a 4 and a 7 here, so these two squares need to be a 4 and a 7. And that has the ramification that an 8 needs to go in one of these two squares here. And that again means that these squares are blocked from being an 8. These two squares are blocked from being an 8, and this 8 blocks over here, so here's an 8. The 7 blocks across here, this 7 blocks across, this 7 blocks down, so here's a 7. That's kind of neat. We have a 4, 7 here and a 4, 7 here. And we can, I think, now figure out where a 9 goes in the top chute here. The 9 blocks these 3 squares, and therefore one of these two must be a 9. We know that these two must be a 4 and a 7, so it follows that a 9 must go in one of these two squares here. Which square? I think we can figure that out easily because this 9 blocks up here, so one of these is a 9, therefore this cannot be a 9, and ergo the 9 goes here. The 8 blocks over here, and the 8 blocks over here. So one of these must be an 8. At the moment, it doesn't really matter which one it's going to be. Let's just make sure that we understand that an 8 cannot go in this square here. Now this 8 blocks this square, and this 8 blocks this square. So we are left with only one square in column 9 where an 8 can go, and that's here. Now we need a 1, 3, and a 5 to complete column 9. There's a 3 and a 5 here, so here is your 1. This 3 blocks across, so a 5 must go here and a 3 must go here, and that sorts out the 3 problem we had over here. This 3 blocks across, this blocks up, so a 3 must go here. 2 can't go here, therefore it must be a 6, and the 2 must go here. Now we know that a 6, 8 here and a 6, 8 here force a 6 and 8 in these two squares. This 8 blocks across, so the 6 is destined for this square and the 8 for this. Row 8 seems to desperately be in need of a 1, 2, 3, and a 5. There's a 1 and a 2 and a 3 all blocking this square, which therefore must be a 5, and these now must be a 1, 2, and a 3. And that should be easy, at least as far as the 3 is concerned, because the 1 and the 2 are blocking this square, making it a 3. This is now a 1 and a 2. We have a 2 blocking down, so a 1 goes here and a 2 here. Remember that we need a 1, 2, and a 9 for these squares. We got a 1 and a 2 blocking this square, which therefore must be a 9. And this 9 blocks up, while this 9 blocks down, so a 9 goes here. These are now a 1 and a 2. A 2, 3, 6, and an 8 still needed for this row. There's a 2, 6, and an 8 here, so this must be the 3. And we can now plug in the 1 here, of course. So these now have to be a 2, 6, and an 8. There's a 2 and an 8 blocking down here, so this must be the 6. This 8 blocks down, so this must be the 2, and the 8 is forced to go here. And these two squares must be a 3 now and a 5. The 5 blocks down, so the 3 goes here and the 5 here. We got two 5s blocking across. We got one 5 blocking down, another 5 blocking up. So a 5 is forced into this square. The 3 blocks up, the 3 blocks down, the 3 blocks over. So a 3 goes here. Here we're looking for a 4 and a 9, and we'll have to wait a little with those, I think. Here we can do something. These 3 squares must be a 1, 9, and a 6. There's a 1 and a 9 here, so this is a 6. This 6 blocks up, so does this. This blocks over, so a 6 goes here. What did I say these were? A 1 and a 9. I can't seem to solve those at this moment. 2 and a 9 here still. I'm seeing this 6 blocking over and this 6 blocking over. So here's an easy 6, making this a 6 and making this a 9 and this a 9 and this a 2. Yes, and since this must be a 7 or a 4 and this is blocked by this 2, we know that this square must be a 2. This is now a 7, 4 along with this one here. Except we do have a 7 blocking, so this is a 4, this is a 4, and this is a 7. And everything is looking a lot easier now, I think. This 2 blocks down, so a 2 must go here, and here's room for an 8 that is going to live in this square. And this 8 blocks up, this blocks over, so an 8 lives here. The top square here has got to be a 4. And that blocks over here. There's 4 blocks up here, so here's another 4, which blocks down. This 4 blocks up, this 4 blocks over, so here's a 4. We need a 1 and a 5 for these two squares. A 5 is blocking over, so 1 goes here, 5 here. This 1 blocks over, so here's a 1. The last digit here has got to be a 9. And now we can do the 9s. 9 blocks down, 9 blocks up, 9 goes here. This 2 blocks over, so this must be the 1 and this must be the 2. And this is a 1, I'm sure, yes, and this has got to be a 7. And that is it for today's New York Times Heart puzzle. Quite approachable, I think, and it didn't really present a lot of difficulties, but as usual, it was quite fun. I hope you come by soon for another puzzle. Bye for now.